Hey guys, Travis here again with Lucky Tackle Box. And today, we're supersizing finesse fishing with Gary Yamamoto's 7.75-inch Kut-Tail worm. Now, just because you're going down to a finesse rig doesn't mean you have to go to a smaller profile bait. The reality is, as a lot of these bass get bigger and bigger, they start looking, instead of chasing a lot of small meals every day, they actually start looking for 1 or 2 big meals so they don't have to exert as much energy and they can grow larger and larger. So that's what we're trying to do by giving them this nice, easy, bigger profile bait. We're trying to entice some of those bigger fish into going for this meal. So let's break down this grande style finesse fishing, starting with rigging. The setup I'm using is a nail rig. So I start with a nail in the head of the bait, and then I slide an O-ring about halfway up the body, and then I use Mustad's double wide drop shot hook in a 2/0, and I slide that right underneath the O-ring, and then I'm ready to hop that bait right along the bottom. So let's talk about the setup here. I spool up 8 to 10 pound mono or fluorocarbon on Daiwa's Ballistic 2500 series, and then I pair that up with a little heavier spinning rod. I've got Castaway's medium heavy fast action 7-foot rod, and the reason being is I need a little bit of backbone so I can control this bigger bait, and so I can really control these bigger fish as well. And then I need a fast tip because I need to be able to really hop this bait along the bottom, but also I need to be able to feel these subtle bites. Because these fish are sitting in one spot, they're not hitting it on the run. So as I'm working this bait, all of a sudden I'll just feel a little bit of weight. And so when I feel that, I want to just slowly lift that rod tip up. And if I feel any kind of pulse or anything like that, that's when I want to reel down and just lift up that hook set. Okay, so with retrieval, the idea is you want to make this bait move nice and slowly because it's a finesse bait, but you want it to hop up and down. You don't, if you give it slack, it's going to lay over sideways. You want it kind of nosing along the bottom there, looking like it's some kind of bait kind of taking its last little kicks or something. So what you do is with the rod tip up, you just shake the line on semi-taut line. What this is going to do is it's going to keep the bait moving real slowly along the bottom, and it's going to keep it upright and hopping. Now every once in a while, give it some slack to make sure that it's still on the bottom. See, I had lost contact with the bottom here, so it's sinking all the way back down. Then get back to hopping it. Because if it's sitting there just on slack line, that bait is just sitting there sideways and it's not giving you the presentation that you're trying to get out of this bait. Oh, there we go. Oh, which way is he? Oh, shoot. I don't know which way he is. Shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. He's got us. Oh, he's got us. We are like under a splinter or something, so I'm trying not to horse him too much. There we go. Now we're around that. There we go. See? Oh, that's a good fish too. All right, guys. So you don't want to overpower these fish when you're around these pilings. Just watch where they go. You can go up to that fish and you can untangle it. But if you don't freak out, you just take your time, you can end up getting some absolute toads. Oh, wow. And that is why you offer them the bigger profile baits. You don't keep a nice big belly like that without eating big healthy meals. And so let's first start with docks. There's a few things that I look for when I'm fishing docks. Oh man, oh baby. And that is anything that stands out to me. So this dock has a couple things going for it. First, it's the last dock in the stretch of docks here. So we've got about 5 docks behind us. This is the last dock, and then we've got nothing but isolated, or not isolated, we've got open water. We've got some weed beds, tulies out there. So this is a perfect place for those bass to kind of hunker down in the heat of the day and kind of just rest up from the morning bite or get ready for the evening feed. And so perfect opportunity to throw a bigger bait like this. Also, when you're fishing these docks, make sure that you're taking note the water depth that you're catching your fish in. So right now, we're in 2 to 3 feet of water. So I want to take note of that, and you know, that wasn't a bigger fish. So that we haven't completely patterned things yet. But every time I catch a fish, I want to make sure I look at that water depth. And if I get a couple fish in a certain depth, then we're just going to key in on the certain docks that are in that depth that we're catching those fish in. There we go. So we've got two littler guys out of this spot right here, so I'm gonna move a little bit deeper because sometimes that's all it takes. Because we've just caught two fish right out of this little corner. Now I'm gonna turn around and fish a little bit deeper off here. Looks like the most shade is right on that corner right there. So I'm gonna give it one more toss in here. Oh, yep, there we go. That's a big, I think that's a big fish. Okay, so he's tangled up. So you just apply pressure till he comes out of there. And he is out of there and he is big. But there is stuff for him to tangle around. So you guys, you don't wanna just try to horse him out of structure when you have fish like this. Oh, game off. Well, that is proof that there are some big fish that can be caught with this bigger bait. Oh man. Another thing to pay attention to, what happened right here is, you know, we caught some fish, some smaller fish up shallow. We moved out to the next section of that dock and was able to find a fish that was, I would say, about 6 times larger than the fish we were just catching. So always pay attention to what's going on. That fish was in 3 feet of water. So probably out there, probably about 4.5 feet of water. So now we kind of know where to maybe start zoning in on these docks. So this next dock coming up, this one really resembles the last one we missed that big one on. Because we've got a boat offering more shade lower down to the water. So you're getting that shade, that consistent shade throughout the day. So if we can get this bait up and in there. Oh yes, skipped it all the way back there. Okay. This bait can really be thrown in a wide variety of areas, but today we're really keying in on mimicking those bigger profile baits those larger bass are looking for. So the easiest way to find those is you're gonna go to the most kind of obvious spots you've learned about when fishing. Main lake points, giant boat docks, you know, if there's a tule line, something that sticks out in front of the tules, that's gonna be the highest productive areas for these bigger bass to be able to ambush some of these different baits that they're actually trying to target. There he is. There he is. There we go. Look at this guy. All right guys, when those fish are not hitting those reaction baits and you need to slow down to a finesse rig, you don't have to sacrifice size when you go down to that slower technique. That's why Yamamoto baits invented that bigger 7.75 Kut-Tail worm that absolutely offers the profile these big fish still are looking for, but they're just not willing to go out and chase. And a nice nail weight rig put right in front of them can entice those bigger fish any time of the year. Once again, guys, I'm Travis with Lucky Tackle Box. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel.